Okay, so it's not too many times you're going to draw something like that on the screen. It's not too many times you're going to use a basic range to do much of anything on its own. Just repeat something 5 times. It's not common in any point in life, really. There's occasionally it comes up, but it's not something you do a lot of times. Normally, we do something a bit more robust. So let me simplify this back down to one target, one location here, and I can let me dump this, move that indentation. Oops, move that indentation in a little bit. Oh shoot, I always forget how this works and doesn't work for indenting. The tab character can push it out. Some languages will let you use the shift tab character to bring it back in, and it does not in idle. Okay, so let's not even do a full row here. Let's just do range to. No, you know what? Forget it. Let me just take those out. I don't need any of those loops right there. Let me just leave it as normal, and we'll put the location back to one. Let's see, 225. We'll put it in the center, and 250. And let's make a bigger one so we can see a little bit better. Let's do 100. And so we'll run this, get it back to start. Not the most interesting thing to see me put it back, but I don't like showing you code that just suddenly appears. I want you to see everything I've done from scratch, at least for now. All right, so we saw a pattern down below that allowed us to draw those things without having to copy and paste and put it over and over again. If you look at this, is there a pattern to the way we drew the target to begin with? So take a moment. If you don't see it right away, pause and look if you can see the pattern. So pause the video now. Okay, I'm going to assume you paused the video, and now you're unpausing. So if you didn't, pause again. But now we're going to talk about it. So if you look at the pattern, we define a circle, we set a fill color, we draw it. Define a circle, set a fill color, draw it. Define a circle, set a fill color, draw it, and so on and so forth. Sounds like a iteration, right? Sounds like a pattern we can take advantage of, particularly as the target location is the same time every time. And this one is 5 halves, 4 halves, 3 halves, 2 halves, and 1. I'm sorry, 5/5, 4/5, 3/5, 2/5, and 1/5. So it seems like a counting pattern right there as well. So can I do this with a loop? So for ring number, let's call it, in range. Well, there's going to be 5 of them. So we can define this range in a number of ways. So let's just say 5. I'm just going to do 5. Now, that means it's going to go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to deal with that. Now, we could define the range in other ways to change the math on this, but I'm going to start with the most basic range, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So what do we need to do here? Well, we need a ring. We're going to build a ring. And that circle goes at the target location. And the first one should be target size unencumbered, right? The full target size. I'm not going to worry about the fill for a second, because if I do, it might get into some weird things. So I'm going to come back to the fill, but I'm going to do a ring.draw. And I showed you that other one before because it becomes really handy here for me not to have to comment all these lines of code. But if true, then return. So basically what it's saying is every time call the return statement. If I just hit return right here, then it makes it weird. Well, actually, I should try it. Python might not care. Other languages require you to put the if true. That might be a habit of mine from other languages. I don't think I've ever tried it. Yeah, invalid syntax. Oh, wait. I'm sorry, not invalid syntax there. I forgot the colon. Can't have to have a colon at the end of a for loop. Sorry, that was the wrong one. F5 again. Oh yeah, no, it doesn't. I don't need if true. I can just put return there. So other languages will not let you have a return statement followed by useful code. It calls it dead code. It makes you take it out. But Python apparently doesn't care. But now I've drawn 5 circles, all of the same target size, the biggest one inside of there. So how do I make this target size smaller? Well, what I want to do is ring number, oh, this should be times ring number divided by 5. So that, in theory, should get me 5 rings, right? So let's try that. Okay, well, it gave me 5 rings, but what's this tiny ring on the inside? So it actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the way I can show you for sure what happened, just so you can get it, is let's do a ring.setFill to be white. And I do that, I run that again, I end up with a big white circle on the outside. So what I did was I drew a little ring, followed by a bigger ring, by a bigger ring, by a bigger ring, and then a white circle on the outside. And this is actually not even the proper size. Well, it's actually only 4/5 the proper size, only 80% of the proper size. Because what's happening here, and this is a great way for you to understand what's happening here. I can do a print this thing that I am copying it out to be. And what it ends up doing is, you can see it prints the first one at 0th size, the second one at 20th size, 40, 60, and 80% of the size. Where I want it to be 100, 80, 60, 40, 20, I'm now doing the opposite. Okay, well, that's just a math issue. It's not a coding issue. It's an algorithm issue. It's a clever way of solving problems issue. So instead of doing 0, 20, 40, 60, 100, how do I do 100, 80, 20, 40, 60? It's actually not bad at all. What I can say is 5 minus ring number divided by 5, right? So one option is I can just count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I can deal with that up here. Or I can, if I want it still, and there's a good reason why I still want it to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'll show you in a second. But I can do 5 minus 0 is 5. 5 minus 1 is 4, 5 minus 3, and so on and so forth. So let me copy this over here real quick, and I'll show you what's going on. So instead of being ring number, I'm going to do that thing I just wrote. I hit F5, and now, see it says 180, 60, 40, 20, and even with a white fill, I end up with all my rings showing, because not only am I drawing in the right size, I'm also drawing in the correct order. All right, so I could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There's different choices I have to make for that. All right, so let me stop there. Let you play with this. Try and draw your rings. Notice we have one big issue going on. I have no colors inside of here. I got to sort that out, but we'll sort that out next. I'm going to let you pause and go and play with this and create the loop for this one.